This presentation is going to go over color models in the marketing industry and how designers utilize them for any media output. So a quick introduction is that color models explain how a full range of color is created from a set of primary colors. The two major ones being the RGB and CMYK color model. It's important for designers to choose the right color model for specific projects to make sure that color is consistent throughout all of color reproduction. So deciding which model to use depends on the output goal, such as digital displays or printing on paper. So the two main color models are the additive color model, or the RGB model, and the subtractive or CMYK color model. So the RGB color model is primarily made of red, green, and blue, which creates secondary cyan, magenta, and yellow colors. So basically, when green and blue light overlap, it creates cyan, red and blue light creates magenta, and green and red lights create yellow. When all three of these colors are combined, it creates white. Understanding the RGB color model is important for graphic designers because it is used for pretty much any sort of display, screens like flat panel displays, digital cameras, phone, and tablet devices. The subtractive color model, or CMYK color model, is primarily made up of cyan, magenta, and yellow, which produces secondary colors red, green, and blue. These colors are inks meant for printing on any substrates, and it's important for designers in the marketing industry to understand this model because if something is designed in RGB and then immediately sent to a printer, the color will not really be the same as what was originally displayed on the computer. So color is considered three-dimensional, and the HSV and HSL color models kind of display that. So the HSV model is three-dimensional model made up of hue, saturation, and value, and the HSL model is made up of hue, saturation, and lightness. So hue usually is a number between 0 and 360 that represents an angle on the color wheel. Saturation displays the purity of the hue. So as you move further away from the center of the model, colors get a little bit more vibrant. V stands for value, and it displays the perception of the amount of light being emitted from a color. So as you go up on the model, the colors move further away from black. In the HSL color model, it's pretty similar to the HSV, but the third dimension, which is lightness, displays how close color is to either white or black. So as you move up the model, the hue turns more white, and as you go down, the hue turns more black. The final color model that I'll talk about is the LAB model. Basically, it is another three-dimensional model. L standing for lightness, so at the lower end, it is how black the hues are, and upper end is how white they are. A stands for the red and green contrast, and B stands for the yellow and blue contrast. So like I mentioned before, it's not very ideal to send an RGB image immediately to the printer. So the LAB kind of stands as it plays as an interchange space between the RGB and CMYK models. Number values give a description of color used to convey color requirements to a printer system. I included spot colors in this presentation because it's very important for designers in the marketing industry for major companies that have specific brand colors. So basically, a spot color is a formulated color used instead of CMYK ink, made just for with the goal of having a specific color. Probably, for example, Coca-Cola has a specific red, Spotify uses a specific green. It can be costly to create these colors and consistently use them, but it's worth the money if companies want to maintain that consistent color. So this ensures accuracy and color consistency across all print jobs. So in conclusion, it's important for designers to understand color models, understand that color is three-dimensional, and understand the importance of the interchange process between RGB and CMYK color conversions. Being aware that RGB models are used for digital forms of advertisement and CMYKs used in printing can make the difference in how color appears across all platforms.